we was trending on Google the other day. Sports Illustrated did a story, and Max Preps on the story on them. People just can't believe it, But I mean,
I can't believe it. I'm like 1-9 and 0-10, and they're going to the finals.
But anybody could have made us 1-10 and 0-11.
What's going on? It's Keyshawn, and we got another episode of All Facts and No Breaks podcast. But before we get going, I want to remind all of you to follow All Facts Pod on social media or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. We need to hit 100,000 subscribers. It would be greatly appreciated if you join us. But joining us first on the show is an interesting one, though. High school football coach from Pius X, Matthias, here in Los Angeles, a friend of mine. I call him Coach Deezy, Coach Thomas, Devah. I mean, he got all the names and the tricks that's out there. But beside that, they started off 0-8 and wind up winning their first Southern Section CIF Championship in school history. 0-8, think about that. Before going 1-9, you had to have a crazy weekend, knowing that after Thanksgiving, he was getting ready to be a damn champion. It started off 0-8. I don't even know how you make it to the playoffs at 0-8.
I mean, times has changed, Key. I mean, they got a thing called Cal Preps that it's like a BCS type of computer system that does the playoffs for you. So I don't make the rules. I just follow them. You know what I'm saying?
But when they initially, I guess, told you via the athletic director, the school calling you, it was like, we're going to put you in the playoffs. Did you not we won one damn game? Or did you know that you could potentially get in?
I mean, I figured if we won one or two that we can get in because our strength of schedule was like one of the top in California. Every team that we played made the playoffs except for 1 out of 9 teams. All in the higher division than us except for one team. So we went and played the Division II champions in Newberry Park. They got a quarterback on the Florida State. We fought them hard at the halftime. Then our depth kicked in. Only had like 27 players.
27 players?
Fought hard, though. We played.
So was all the playoff games on the road?
No, we had the first playoff game was at home against.
How? No, you won and died.
Man, the way our power ranking was, the way that we was ranked in the seed, we was a higher seed.
So you defeated Serrano 38-19 in the CIF Southern Section Division 8. That was Friday night.
Yeah.
And so now you're on to
the state regional game.
So you're on to the state regional game, and that game is played where?
At St Pius this Saturday at 6 against St. Augustine out of San Diego, which went 0-10.
They went 0-10?
And made the playoffs, and we all 4-0 in November, though.
It's just wild. So any and everybody now, everybody gets a trophy, basically.
No, it's teams that went 7-3 that didn't make the playoffs. I mean, they played the Little Sisters of the Poor, and so it caught up to them. So they want competitive equity. It's a thing called competitive equity that the CIF is running with in Cal Preps, and we fit the criteria of competitive equity.
So you had this young junior quarterback. How you say it's Josiah?
Josiah Williams.
Josiah Williams. He threw for 444 yards, 4 touchdowns, rushed for a touchdown. So he combined for 5 touchdowns. He completed passes to 6 different receivers.
Yeah.
You never had a quarterback before, so where you find him at?
Man, I always had a quarterback, kid. I keep a quarterback. I had one against you. I had one at 707, popped you. But I always had a quarterback. But, we just know how to coach him up.
Know how to coach him, huh?
Yeah.
So when you finally get the opportunity to win your first Southern Section title, what was it like? Because you beat one of your good friends in Ant from Salesian.
Yeah.
Because you used to coach at Salesian back in the day.
Yeah.
And now he's the head coach over there. So you wind up beating him in the quarterfinals or the semis?
The semis.
So you beat him in the semis. What was that like?
Man, that felt like the championship game. I mean, Ant had them boys I prepared, man. We just got hot at the right time and made a big play. Then our defense held on, and and played tough and physical, and we came off victorious. It was 14-21. It was a great game.
So this is a young team, though, right? This is
Yeah,
you got
we
a
had
young
2
team.
seniors.
You got 2 seniors on the whole team.
That's it.
So you young,
Mhm.
you start off 0-8, but you get things turned around come the playoff time.
Yeah.
Did you feel like if you got in the playoffs that y'all would go on a run?
Yeah, because you just saw the grit, like the grind in these kids. They never gave up. They came every Monday after a loss, like they were still motivated. So it's like when we found out that we was in the playoffs, they tapping in coach, like, what's the huddle? Can you send the huddle they got in their group chats? And they had their own meeting, like this is a second chance at life. So let's try to run a table, you know what I'm saying? Let's get Coach D a championship. And we can beat these teams. It's teams that we play way better in higher divisions. So these guys that we playing, it should be a breeze, and that's what they've been doing. That's their mindset.
Because in 2021, you took over. That was your first year at Pius X, right? And you went to the championship.
I went to the championship my first
Wind
year.
up not cashing in, losing, but you've been in the playoffs, I believe, every single year.
Every year. I went the second year, I went 9-1, and they put me in Division III with 30 players, and I lost in the first round. And last year, I kind of had a senior heavy team, but they kind of had issues amongst themselves, but we got it together towards the end of the year and went to the semis and lost by 10 points. And this year, we won it all.
What type of players have you had? Because you've been coaching a while, whether it's 7-on-7 or high school football. What type of players have advanced on to college and into the pros that you've coached before?
Well, we have, man, a lot. We had a lot go to college. I mean, we could start with Devon Moreland was like our first All-American that we got, but Jermaine Kelly ended up going to Washington, and he went to San Jose. He had a cup of coffee in the league a little bit. We had Marquise Ware, Jamar Drake was some of the top linebackers in the country. You had Kiava Tazino that went to San Diego State, and he also just won like a Super Bowl in the USFL. Of course, you got Deommodore Lenoir, you know what I'm saying? He went to 49ers. He went to Oregon. He was a guy, Nick Pickett. You had Raheem Johnson, Keyshawn Nixon, Jordan Shaw. That was my first Army All-American. Well, he was my Army All-American at PMA, the first one. We had Nate Frazier that's at Georgia. He was with me for 2 years, and he transferred to Mater Dei, but he won ours. We had Leonard Payne that went to Fresno State out of Pius and transferred with your man Dion, you know what I'm saying, to Colorado last year. He was with the Dolphins, so he may go to the USFL. We had quite a few guys that went to college out of there.
This episode of All Facts, No Breaks is presented by Colagard. As my listeners may know, a few of my family and close friends have undergone battles with various forms of cancer, so increasing awareness around the importance of cancer screenings is very personal to me. And on that note, today I want to tell you about the Colagard test, which is a great use at-home option to screen for colon cancer. The Colagard test is one-of-a-kind way to feel more in control of your colon cancer screenings through a prescription-based test with none of the prep that's required in a colonoscopy. It is the only FDA-approved non-invasive screening test that looks for both altered DNA and blood in your stool. What I want my listeners to know is that colon cancer screenings are crucial for early detection because many patients with early-stage colon cancers have no symptoms at all and are diagnosed through a preventative screenings. And for my listeners in their late 40s who think this doesn't apply to them, guess what? The American Cancer Society recommends that if you are at average risk, you begin screening for colon cancers at age 45. We're not talking 50 or 55 here, people. When it comes to staying on top of your health, the time is now. Plus, the Colagard test doesn't just offer convenience and ease of use, it's also affordable. Most insured patients pay $0 with zero downtime, no special preparation, and use at home screening tests that deliver right to your door. It's delivered right to your door. There's no reason that we should let our health take a back seat. What are we waiting for? So if you're 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Colagard test. You can also request a Colagard prescription through a telehealth provider today at Colagard.com/podcast. The Colagard test is intended to screen adults 45 and older at average risk for colorectal cancer. Do not use Colagard test if you have had an anomalous, have inflammatory bowel disease, and certain hereditary syndromes, or a person or family history of colorectal cancer. The Colagard test is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Colagard test performance in adults ages 45 to 49 is estimated based on a large clinical study of patients 50 and older. False positives and false negatives can occur. Colagard is available by prescription only. What's the reasoning behind coaching the youth and being a part of, their life in coaching high school football?
I just try to get these dudes something that I had, but I feel like kept going. I just try to do more than what I saw. So I just feel like if you give these guys an extra hand or just more than what they get, that they'll keep going. You know what I'm saying? I just try to keep them out the streets. Like this more like our ministry, so I try to keep them from breaking in houses, robbing, jacking, stealing, and just give them something to strive for. So I think like helping them further their education, they see more than just the gold chains or the diamond earrings or just the Louis Vuitton shoes. They see like it's more to life to that. You know what I'm saying? So me and my coaches, because I got some great men around me, my assistant coaches, or Russell Shaw, Shea Fields, those kind of guys, they help just like be that father figure and that mentorship in these young men's life.
So when you see one of these guys that you coached in college that's gone on to play in the NFL and to get an opportunity to sign a contract, a major contract, how does that make you feel and your staff feel that for the most part you had your hands in that process?
It's like, man, he trusted the process and believed in shit. His family blessed, his little brother play for me now at Pius, his baby brother, the last one. So his parents, like anyone that we got, a grandson, him, they playing for Coach D. We gonna follow the Coach D formula. He led our first one to the promised land. So it's a blessing to turn these relationships into real family relationships.
How difficult is it to get players to go to like Pius X when you got some of these bigger programs that's out there, St. John Bosco, Sierra Canyon, Mater Dei, St. John, Mission Viejo,
Yeah.
Cal Lutheran, some of those type of schools, Orange Lutheran, better yet.
Yeah, it's more harder to keep them once you develop them, then they come and try to bribe them and buy them. So we can coach them up, get them better, and once they see they start flourishing, and they'll come in with. We got to
NIL in high school.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. You know how it goes. So we just keep coaching them, just keep grinding, try to build a relationship on bigger than football, more on loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Like it's bigger than just that now. Like it's all about relationships. So I try not to burn no bridges. I'm saying I hope people to take heed to what me and my coaches are doing. We just some genuine men that's trying to help. Just pillars of our community.
So the CIF State Southern Cal Regional Bowl game matchups has been announced. It'll be this Saturday on the 7th, and you're playing St. Augustine, which has a similar story. As you mentioned earlier, they entered the playoffs as 0-10. It's no wins and 10 losses, and are now the San Diego section regional champions. And Hall of Fame USC graduate Troy Polamalu's son plays on this team, St. Augustine.
Yeah.
What are they like? Are they good? What they look like?
Yeah, they're good. They're 4-0 in November like us. Yeah, I think they're very good. So we got to coach our guys up, keep them grounded. You know what I'm saying? Them guys will come in to play. They're not going to take that long trip down here to lose. So we got to execute the game plan, do our assignment. We got a young team, but they very focused, So we just got to execute the game plan. I think we'll be all right.
Very focused, huh? So you don't think there's going to be a letdown because now they accomplished something by winning the CIF Southern section?
It'll be a like we right here. So we right here. We might as well take it all. We got that.
Is this the final game? Final stop?
No, if we win, we'll play a game next Saturday. The winner of our game plays a team from either Central or NorCal because they play for the state championship, the 4A state championship.
So this is to get to the state final. This is just the regional, which is Southern California.
Yeah.
Down through San Diego. Then Northern California, Central California will play each other to see
who make it.
Huh. That's interesting. Now, their teams obviously won some games up north, I would
Oh, yeah,
assume.
they're 12-3, 9. But that don't mean nothing in November, December. You could get popped.
Yeah, that. I've seen it happen when teams have been good. You see it in college. You see it in the pros.
Every
Teams
week.
get beat all the time by teams that aren't as good or record-wise aren't as good. But, man, I wanted to bring some light to the program because it's fascinating that you could be 1-9 and 0-10 and wind up in a state championship game because I've never seen it. Has it ever happened before?
No, so it's a big deal on social media. They is punishing us on Twitter. They eating us alive on Twitter. I try not to even look. Oh, they need to do a better job.
Twitter's a germ.
Yeah, just everywhere. Like we was trending on Google the other day. Sports Illustrated did a story, and Max Preps on the story on them. People just can't believe it, But I mean,
I can't believe it. I'm like 1-9 and 0-10, and they going to the finals.
Anybody could have made us 1-10 and 0-11.
But do you
think?
Think it's? I don't want to say fair, but do you think it's right for teams with a losing record, not even 500, below 500, to still be and not just in the playoffs, an at-large bid?
I may be biased a little bit, but I'm gonna give you an example. If you at USC and you let's say you 10-1, but you playing Colgate, Merced, Cal Poly Slow, and you 10-1.
I don't think USC could beat Colgate and Merced.
Hey man, that's your honest opinion. But I'm just saying, at USC. But now I'm at let's say I'm in the SEC and I'm Vanderbilt, and I got this gauntlet. I got LSU, I got Georgia, I got Bama. I'm playing. Let's just say we play Clemson that year, and we's fighting, but we losing. Who would you rather let in the playoffs? Merced or Cal Poly that's playing Colgate and all those teams, or a Vanderbilt that'll make a game of competitive if they played somebody a little bit like to their caliber or less. So that's what the CIF want. They want competitive equity.
And how long has this rule been in place?
Since last year.
Oh, so last year.
Yeah, like last year, 2 years ago, they started this. They started this like a BCS type of thing. It's all ran by computer. So I was losing games.
Strength of schedule.
Strength of schedule. Mine's is like a plus like 20. So it's some people got a -18. They got an 8-2 record. Like they playing Colgate, Merced. They just want to beat up on them. I'm going to play Newberry Park, St. Paul, Cathedral, Buchanan and Fresno, Carson High School, Crane Lutheran. That's loaded. So these teams that went to the quarterfinals or semifinals, and Newberry Park won the D2 championship. They right behind Bosco and them. So I mean, I fought them. I fought them to like the third quarter. Then that depth kicked in 27 and then 52.
Huh.
So I mean, the quarterback we gave him some word. That quarterback's good though. He won to Florida State, very good. But he know who PMA is too.
Oh man, congrats though. Congratulations, man. I really appreciate coming in and sitting down and explaining exactly how y'all was able to make it to the championship after starting 0-8 and then going 1-9, which is still pretty bizarre to me. But nevertheless, you in it, you won it. Fuck them. That's what I say.
I appreciate you having us, man. I mean, just St Pius X is a great school, man. I just want to thank my admin for giving me an opportunity, and my president, my principal, my ADs, and my assistant coaches, is everybody that's been there through all this losing and adversity. Because some people kind of wrote us off. I mean, people that's
I thought you was gonna get fired, man. Me personally,
yeah. You used to call me cracking jokes. I didn't fire you yet.
0-8, I thought they was gonna strike up the band.
Hey, but now they got to back the Brinks truck up now.
All right, that's a wrap for today's show. Thanks again to Coach Thomas for joining the show. Remember to follow All Facts Pod on social media and all of our podcast feeds, and subscribe on YouTube. Until next time, go Pius X. Congratulations. Peace.